PFC, Vernon Paul Culpepper, Company D, 735th Tank Battalion, born Durant, Oklahoma, December 31st, 1919, killed in action, Luxembourg, January 17th, 1945, in performance of duty, gave his life for the cause of liberty. Every ideal fought for that is greater than oneself has subtler value to the whole. Fought for more than just his life, more than just his immediate home, and a believer in duty and liberty. Subtler ideas that were made greater by his sacrifice, and his attunement to these subtler ideas remains even in future lives, and will attune his spirit to the subtler and vaster truths that ultimately all men hold dear. This baby Mary, born in 1918, died in 1918. So young, it's hard for us to conceptualize what it is to lose somebody so small. But it's beautiful that even though this was so long ago, somebody has recently placed flowers and some baby items, swaddling blankets and a pacifier. Even the very small who died before they could experience life are still remembered by some, and I find that quite beautiful, that people are still willing to remember those souls from long ago who unfortunately died so young. We remember. Many people do. Even stones which no longer hold a place and are displaced, even they remain with the other stones. So it is with humanity and life. Even if we are displaced, we still exist and live on the surface with others, no matter how disconnected we may feel. Our spirits are etched in the stones of time. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I'd walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. A beautiful saying upon this grave, long etched, but still inspires those of us who are living and walk through here. First a mother, first a father, before body identification. This hints at the grander mother and the grander father. Grander emotions whose breath span many universes, and whose love endures and subtly pervades all things. Father, the thoughts, the ideas, the reasonings, the whys, the conceptualization of what is, both male and female. These fundamental realities tie to mother and father as roles before individuality and bodies. We put angels in graveyards because there's something deep within us that knows of the astral realm and the beings that exist there. The ones who are so light, so non-material, that they can float about, move from planet to planet in the astral realm just by traveling along light and who do not age like the grosser body, that many, after we die for a time, will exist as such beings before returning here, or will exist as such beings, exist here for a very long time, and then move on to higher realms. But somewhere inside we know that these subtler beings exist in a subtler realm, yet a much more free realm than this earthly plane. A realm in which there is more rest, and there is more truth, and we need not produce through physical means, but through subtler ideas of beauty, acceptance, and family that is not physical, but beings like ourselves. We form families in other realms, and we live in a subtler reality. The cross represents a few things that people often don't think about. So it represents man's ascension, but instead of the direction is upward, it signifies that, but around it is a kind of star where man's limbs are in four directions, but head is facing up in ascension. And in the Bible it says, "He who weeps for the world shall wear a talv upon their forehead." This talv is a cross, but it also represents a star, and it marks the third eye between the eyebrows. The cross is most often remembered as an item of crucifixion, a terrible practice, a terrible way of execution that has been around for thousands of years. But if we understand the cross more deeply, we can connect to it and what it resembles more deeply, even if we are not Christian, which I'm not. But there is truth in every path, and ultimately all paths are one. Old graves and new graves, but they will all look the same in the end, and we all must come to similar places. If not this place, if not a grave itself, then death. We all come to death. We need not fear it. We need not live lives of trepidation and anticipation for our end. We can understand it as a transition, and these places as gateways, and places of remembrance for those whom all the living still owe a debt of life. For we could not exist without our ancestors and without those that came before us, our progenitors. And we should also understand that their ideas, no matter how many thousands of years may pass, existed, and they formed them in the ether with their thought, with their efforts, and nothing is ever lost, even if the body is. We stand upon the shoulders of giants, and many more will stand upon our shoulders. Take heart, rise up. These have been my contemplations in a graveyard. I hope that you found this interesting. If you have any thoughts about graveyards, the dead, the transition between life and death, and what happens after, if you have any thoughts on these things, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And go to graveyards, pick up some trash, maybe make a few offerings of prayer and incense, no matter what you believe, and you will find greater connection to both those who have passed on and to those places that they have gone. Do not be afraid. Understand that your attunement to things like this will help you live a fuller life and will help you pass in your time. Thank you very much, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day.